Plains lay that same the expanses of God's wide sleep. Now he's talking about those seven earths, how they are climbing up. One above the other, these plains are the seven plains are there, how they are climbing up. The seven ascending slopes of heaven. What the Vedic rishis call the ascending slopes of heaven. Seven plains lay the same expanses of God's wide sleep. What is wide sleep? That is prajna consciousness, the divine consciousness. Prajna, wisdom, divine wisdom. It is that sleep which is there. You have to be in that. We have got four states: Jagrata, Swapna, Prajna, and Turiya beyond that. Jagrata, that is our waking consciousness. Swapna, the dream consciousness behind this is the dream consciousness. Behind the dream consciousness is the Prajna consciousness, sleep, Sushupti. Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, and then Turiya. God's wide sleep. Thoughts, wings climbed up towards heaven's vast repose, lost in the blue deeps of immortality. So these are the blue skies, one above the other. Blue deeps of immortality. Seven plains. Now, this line is very beautiful. I mean, just in fact, the whole passage is very beautiful from the metrical point of view, from the point of view of poetry. The whole thing, right? Plains lay that same expanse of God's wide sleep. See how it flows, expands by itself. Plains lay the same expanse of God's wide sleep. Goes on like that, you see. The stretches of all the seven are kind of stretched like that in the line itself, in the power of expression itself, you have got that length coming out. Plains lay the same expanse of God's wide sleep. Metrically, plains lay, that is Pandi, strong. The same, second foot, is I am, short, long. Third, the expanse, short, long, dactyl, the anapist, expand of God's again, and I am, and wide sleep is Pandi. Plains lay the same expanse of God's wide sleep. So you see, this line is sandwiched between two spondys, plains lay, and wide sleep. Both spondys are there. That same expanse of God's wide sleep. Thoughts, wings climbed up towards heaven's vast repose, lost in blue deeps of immortality. Blue deep, the skies here stands for sky, deeps of immortality. A changed earth nature felt the breath of peace because of their coming into contact now with this earth. Air seemed, so what is the change? Changed earth nature. Now he is describing the change. Air seemed an ocean of felicity. An ocean of felicity. You see, air itself is an ocean. See, mixed metaphors, but say how powerful they are. Air and ocean. Air seemed an ocean of felicity, or the couch of the unknown spiritual rest. So air itself is a spiritual rest, couch. A vast quiescence swallowing up all sound into a voicelessness of utter bliss. Even matter brought a close spiritual touch, all thrilled with the immanence of one divine. So even the lowest earth, see, even matter is brought close to spiritual touch. That is the change which earth nature is feeling. The lowest of these earths was still a heaven. Bhu, of those seven, translating into the splendor of things divine, the beauty and brightness of terrestrial scenes. Eternal mountains rich on gleaming ridge, whose lines were graved as on a sapphire plate, and etched the borders of heaven's lustrous noon, climbed like piled temple stairs, and from their head of topless meditation heard below the approach of a blue pilgrim multitude, and listened to a great arriving voice of the white travel hymn of timeless seas. Eternal mountains rich on gleaming ridge. So you can imagine now, whose lines were graved as on a sapphire plate, as if the whole thing is a sapphire plate, the sky, and each line is engraved. And etched the border of heaven's lustrous noon, climbed like piled temple stairs. How these mountains are climbing up, like temple stairs, Meenakshi temple, Madurai. You see how the Gopuram rises, majestic, absolutely. Piled temple stairs, and from their heights of topless meditation heard below, from there, what is heard below? The approach of blue pilgrim multitude. Because a temple, therefore there are the pilgrims moving to the temple, moving to the temple. Topless meditation heard below, the approach of a blue pilgrim multitude, and listen to a great raving voice. They are listening around the voice coming from above. This earth and this, they are now in contact with it. Or wide travel hymn of timeless sea. Well, now you keep on pondering. I will not. Yeah. A chanting crowd from mountain bosom slipped past branches fragrant with a sigh of flower, hurrying to sweetnesses with rebel leaves. The murmurous rivers of felicity, divinely rippled, honey voiced desires, mingling the sisterieties of delight, then widening to a pace of calm lipped muse, down many glimmered estuaries of dream, went whispering into lakes of liquid peace. I don't think I will be able to explain that. Sheer poetry. You have to just keep on listening to the sound. Chanting crowd from mountain bosom slave, past branches fragrant with the sigh of flower, hurrying to sweetnesses with revelry, the murmurous rivers of felicity, divinely rippled, honey voiced estuaries, honey voiced desire, mingling their sister eddies of delight, then widening to a pace of calm lipped abuse, down many glimmered estuaries of dream, went whispering into lakes of liquid peace. On a brink held of senseless ecstasy, senseless does not mean meaningless. You see, it doesn't mean that foolish. It means there are no senses. It's not the sense which is faculty. Held of senseless ecstasy, and guarding an eternal poise of thought sat sculptured soul, gleaming by rivers of sound, dreaming by rivers of sound, in changeless attitudes of marble bliss. So people are there sitting, rishis or whatever you call it, on the banks of rivers and meditating, on a brink of senseless ecstasy, and guarding an eternal poise of thought sat sculptured. So they are as if kind of, see, the temple tower is there, so all these figures are sculptured there, you see. All gods and goddesses are there on the temple tower. Sculptured soul, dreaming by rivers of sound. The sound is going, the traffic is going, pilgrims are there, and they are sitting there in chainless attitudes of marble bliss. So these are the statues of marble sitting there on it.